because I can't do commercials, so I'm like, let's find a movie to put on, and we put on Beverly Hills Cop had just started, and she had never seen it. Like, she didn't even recognize it was a comedy at first.
You're not used to rooting for the cops either.
Right. Well, that's what we're going to get there.
This is the Bill Squire Show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of the Bill Squire Show. I am your host, Bill Squire, here with Tommi LC.
Hello.
And Pants.
Hi, everybody.
Our first episode with Pants is finally aired, and
A success.
a success indeed.
People are stoked.
Yeah, people are, congratulations. I'm like, this is cool. Like, I feel good about this. Like, we're like congratulate. I'm like, yeah, I put him on my podcast. Like,
Congrats on
I'm
congrats on not having a complete fuck up.
I go, congrats on giving me hours of your life every week to come and record this.
It's what it's like to be the boss, man.
Yeah.
It's take all the credit. You know, just smile and say thanks. Mm-hmm. No, I've had a lot of nice things people have been saying. A lot of people kind of surprised at my porn interests, which aren't.
I thought they were super basic.
Yeah. Maybe they were expecting more from you? Like, I don't know.
I am not, my horniness is not performative. I'm not going to gussy it up for anybody.
He's a man of integrity. What can I say?
Sintegrity. Oh my God, fire me now.
Get out.
Yeah, that was a nice run.
That's gonna be the thing that your mom's like, oh, come on.
Was that a text from your mom or someone else?
That was from my sister-in-law.
Oh, okay.
I don't think she would care that I blew her up like that. No, she doesn't want to hear that. My mom is kind of like, yeah, I get it. Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Watch
Realize
all
my
those
mom
DVDs
listens.
for Christmas
I'm like,
all those
okay,
years
I guess
ago.
she knows mine too.
It's a family
my mom
affair.
does not listen. I don't believe, if she does, she's never said anything. But my parents, that's part of our
Agreement?
why we can get along is the less they pay attention to me, the better we get along.
I don't. It's nice that anyone in my family would listen, but I don't really care either way, and I don't mean that in a bad way.
Yeah,
like,
no, I'm the same.
Oh yeah, I don't
too.
care if they do, but I mean they're just gonna hear things that they don't want to hear.
Yeah,
And I don't care.
Yeah,
But
It is what it is.
that's how it is.
You're here. You subscribed.
Yeah,
my
It's your
mom was
fault.
always proud of me.
right.
Same.
No
My
matter how
mom too.
much about boobs and ass eating I talk about.
That's gonna be the new slogan for the show. You subscribe. This is your fault.
This is
We victim blame our listeners.
just like Bill Squire shirt on the back says your funeral.
Mm-hmm. We should make some new merch too. We got
Here we go.
this heat.
All right.
We got
Oh
this heat.
yeah, this is why you're here. No.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like we don't have to figure anything out right now. But I've not really posted anything for a while. I did for the Alan Cox show. I did the Big Billy's Bottom Boys shirts.
Saw those.
Yeah, they're
By Leslie, right?
Leslie. Yeah, they're fun.
They were great. I mean, I just figured it was your ship to pilot. I have no problem contributing, but at the same time, it's your show. It's your whatever.
Oh yeah, we'd do it and make sure that you recovered all your costs and everything after I get my 10,000 guarantee. And then that's how the business is, man.
It's the music industry, baby.
This is off pod stuff, but we'll figure some shirts out. I think that
I'm not worried about it. We'll
figured out something fun to do. And
yes,
I mean honestly, what we need to do is make the Buck Knuckles shirt. That's Buck Knuckles is.
That's why you're here.
Yeah, if you go back to Pants's appearance, when was that? Like October, I think. I think it was September or October. It was around then. You came on, and I was trying to get back into wrestling at the time. I had just gone to, or I was gonna go to AEW, or I just went to it, whatever. But me and you came up with wrestling personas, and we came up with Buck Knuckles for you, and Buck Knuckles is just the best wrestler name ever.
As a lifelong wrestling fan, I don't think I could argue with that.
Yeah. All right, so with Pants on the podcast, everything's going good. We just did the Shrek rave last week, and I had like that weekend was just nonstop stuff for me because Sunday, my girlfriend and I stayed at a hotel overnight, went to dinner, and then we went to a casino. And
in town,
yeah, we just went to the 9 over here, and
okay,
then we stayed there for the night. Brought the dog. That's always nice. I love a hotel where you can bring the dog.
How does that work out for you with the dog?
she's good.
Yeah.
She's not like she gets a little hyped up when we first get there, and like, but you give her a treat and let her like sniff around the room for a little bit, and then she's like, "Oh, this is great. I like this because it's an even smaller space than we have at home, so she can just get like she always knows where we are." And she likes
she
that.
comes. Is she like my dog, where like the smaller the space, kind of the cooler out she gets?
It's more just like as long as she's in proximity to me, and she doesn't like hearing other noises.
Mm-hmm.
So like, luckily it wasn't like a busy night in the hotel, so there's a few doors opening on our floor, but usually we just turn the TV on, that drowns that out, and she'll just sit there and play with a toy or just sleep on the bed or whatever. So it's pretty cool. But they have a indoor dog park, which is.
Are you able to access that if you don't stay at the hotel? Because
no, you have to like
these shitty weather months. That's something I would pay $10-15 to just take.
You know what? They might do it for that. But it's pretty cool. Except there's one part of it where the dogs go to the bathroom where it's they do a very good job of keeping it clean, but it smells like the strongest indoor pool smell you have. Like
just super chlorined out. That's better than poop and pee.
It's much better than that, but like it's still a little jarring just because you're just like, oh, that's so much cleaner.
I think like that whole hotel they got to just douse with chlorine, kind of. I mean, that's a fun hotel.
That's a fuck hotel for sure. It's a fuck hotel.
To leave it at that, it's a fun hotel.
Yeah. So we stay there, and then because we're staying in a hotel, you end up having to watch regular TV because they don't have Netflix or anything. I don't know why more hotels don't have smart TV so you can sign into your Netflix account. I even just
literally still the scrolling channel thing.
Yeah.
What do you even call that?
I can't tell you.
TV, the guide.
I can't tell you the last time I watched TV in a hotel.
Oh, you don't do that?
And
he fucks in a hotel, Bill.
We fuck too. We just
myself. Okay. No.
Usually, if I'm by myself, I'll just watch everything on my laptop.
I'm trying
if
to
I'm
think
gonna watch anything, but. The two of us and like winding down at the end of the night, we just turned on. They have Showtime over there, so not the worst.
No,
we're watching because I can't do commercials, so I'm like, let's find a movie to put on, and we put on Beverly Hills Cop had just started. When's the last time you saw it?
It's a few years, but not long enough. Like that's a hotel watch though.
Oh yeah, for sure. And she had never seen it. Have you ever seen it?
It's been a long time.
But you have seen it. So she was just like so confused by the theme song because she's like, why is this like kind of like she didn't even recognize it was a comedy at first because none of the jokes land the same way they used to.
No, and
because it was
also, you're not used to rooting for the cops either,
right? Well, that's we're gonna get there. But so you have that aspect of it. And a lot of the comedy of that day was just the straight attitude that Eddie Murphy brought to the role, where he's just like, no one's going to tell me what to do. I'm going to do things my own way and all this. And then, like, he's fast talking. But, like, I don't know why they wrote this movie in a way that, like, this is supposed to be believable in any way, or even if it wasn't, just be so funny that you don't care that it's believable. It's so flat. There's, like, a lot of these scenes where he's fast talking his way into a situation and you're just like, why is anybody just like so like, oh wow, this guy must know what he's doing with his confidence.
Well, that was like Beverly Hills Cop was like literally when Eddie Murphy could have taken his shit in a toilet on film and it would have made millions of dollars. Right? Like he everything he touched turned to gold at that time, right?
But it was also, I mean, it was, I think it started, they made 3 of them.
Yeah.
I think they were making a 4th one.
Probably.
But it was just, I don't know, it just doesn't really hold up. And not again that it was like offensive or anything. It was just kind of like everything just kind of laid there and it didn't pop like it used to. Other than here and there was a few laughs.
I mean, it wasn't that long ago I watched that movie because I kind of just wanted to, because the last time I watched it, I was like 10 years old. So any of the jokes that are in that movie aren't going to land if you're like 10, right? It's like kind of a raunchy adult comedy. So then I watched it and it was like kind of like, yeah, this is kind of just like a straight up like procedural cop movie where like Eddie Murphy does some con man comedy shit here and there.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. But the 80s was different because like modern comedies, aside from like your Step Brothers, like it's just fucking slapstick laughs every 4 seconds because you're competing with the internet. Like in the 80s,
I think there's a sweet spot in there where I think they even got better at it in the sequels to these Beverly Hills Cops movies. Like I think second and third one are funnier than the first one by a lot.
I'll be very frank. I've seen 1 and 2 more than a couple times. I couldn't tell you them apart. Like if you ask me right now, I don't remember what happens in one and what happens in the other.
Right.
The Mike Ehrman Trout, I remember, is in the first one. Is in the first one, yeah. Yeah. Other than that, there's an art gallery, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think like
it's the classic trope. Art dealers that are actually just smuggling stolen stuff.
And Eddie Murphy's an actual cop, right?
Yeah, he's an actual cop from Detroit.
But he's like a wisecracking,
but his friend
con man guy.
Yeah, he used to be a con man and then he became a cop, and then at the end of the movie, the whole like reason that he doesn't get into trouble is because all the cops lie on his behalf, and I'm like, that's so terrible. Like this is so funny that the resolution of this movie is cops, have each other's backs no matter what. And everybody's like, yeah, that's the way to
go. But like that was the 80s when it's just like if you were a wise, we turned a corner in terms of you make a cop movie these days, it doesn't quite hit the same.
Right. Well, you have like a cop movie like
Lethal Weapon.
The Other Guys was a very funny cop movie, but it is making fun of a lot of the tropes in those other movies.
Right. It was a self-aware movie. Like back in the 80s, like Cobra starring Sylvester Stallone is like the coolest cop movie ever because he just dresses like me and he wears aviators indoors and outdoors and doesn't behave. He's like a loose cannon cop that like shoots jaywalkers and stuff. It's like the ultimate.
And everybody's like, that's a good cop right there.
It's the ultimate coked up like 80s. I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
Nope, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just like it's like everything in the 80s was like just every producer, every writer, every director, coked up beyond belief, just like, yeah, that makes sense. And then the cop, he makes like $34,000 a year, but like he lives like in a 2-story penthouse apartment, like overlooking, like makes sense, right? Yeah, that's like that. There's everything about it.
The way he's able to get the hotel room in Beverly Hills Cop by going in there and being like, "Oh, you guys don't give," and he uses the N-word, and they're like, "Oh no, you can have the room with this," but like it's like quite easy how he gets everything, and it's that part was silly and funny, but also one of those things where like I feel like in the 80s they would have been like, yeah, like we're not just gonna give you a room, man. Like,
but that was the world that if you were raised in the 80s, you were raised to believe that every single dude had abs and was oiled up all the time, and then like was like slick talk their way into
anything. Yeah,
it just was
either slick talk or just straight up like muscle their way in, or just like show like just cool attitude. And like you have these contentious relationships with bosses that there's a lot of respect there, but you guys are yelling at each other all the time.
Oh yeah, the chief or the police captain's just like he's got like the glass window. He goes, "Damn it, Foley, get him out of office!" And it's like that became like but that's like that stuff's aged. That's 40 years ago, so that shit's like funny to me now. Like,
well, it's hilarious, and that's why watching it with Danny was so funny. Is because she's like, what the hell is this? She's like, is this a parody? Like, this is like the trope that they hit. Like, they hit trope after trope after trope in this movie. I'm like, well, that's because this is kind of the archetype for the like
that was comedy, the blueprint for that stuff.
Comedy cop movies, which they've made a ton of since.
Yeah.
Action comedy movies are like they kind of started around that era with Eddie Murphy doing 48 Hours and that movie. And then she also kept hearing the synthesizer like score of and she's like, what is this? She's like, because they were like having these really serious scenes, and then it just starts playing in the background. And then she did 2 and 2, and she figured out, she's like, oh, I know this song because of Family Guy, because of when Peter's gone, and so then she's not stopped doing that. So that was a few days ago, and she just keeps going. Do you have like a cop movie that you like, or like even just like an action comedy that you like that doesn't seem like your genre.
Not really, but Cobra, I'm almost positive. My mom has told this story 1,000 times that's what she was watching when she went into labor with me.
Oh, okay.
I'm almost
that
positive.
Explains so much.
I know. Honestly, I grew up on them. What?
I was like, you could say that's what was on when I was conceived.
Oh no! Oh God, that would have been better.
Yeah.
I was. I'll never forget. I was hanging out with. Here's a name drop. I was hanging out with Kyle Kinane, and we're talking about Sylvester Stallone, comedian Kyle Kinane. For the few people that don't know, and then so like. I was like, you've seen Cobra, right? And he just goes, no. I go, you haven't seen Cobra? Crime's the disease. He's the cure. And we're like drinking. He goes, you didn't just come up with that right now, did you? I go, no, it's like on the poster. Like I'm not just coming up with that. I'm not
just
marketing.
Just the best tagline for any movie.
Yeah, I'm not marketing. I'm not coming up with marketing for a 1984 movie for like a friend at a bar right now. But I wish I was kind of flattered he thought I could come up with that on the spot.
That's very funny. So it's going from the yelling captains into getting yelled at by a boss. Have you guys ever had those moments where you've been like chewed out by a boss?
No,
like,
I was always a really good worker.
You're always a good worker?
Yeah.
She's a good
sorry,
worker.
guys, sorry. I screamed at somebody and then I told on myself to my boss.
What? Tell us that story.
She was just a
Tommy's the bad boss.
No, I immediately called the regional afterwards. I was like, FYI, I just screamed at her.
How long ago was this?
Oh, it's been years, at least like 6 years. But just a crazy marketer that was very into gotta get the numbers. So she would lie consistently to like our nurses and stuff.
Oh.
And I overheard her lying about me and a couple other people. And I just pulled out the door because they were talking in the hallway. She was talking to my boss and I just started screaming. I'm like, you're a fucking liar, blah, 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 blah. And then after I was done, I called the regional and she's like, you're fine. And then I was Shrek ever since then. For my, or not Shrek, I said Shrek.
I was like,
Incredible Hulk, green.
I was like, elaborate on that. I'm listening.
No, Incredible Hulk with that one. She named
so that was like
your
one moment.
My one blow up, yeah. But never yelled at by a boss. Never got in trouble for that either. So
I just don't see you as being that angry of a person.
I mean, I can get there, but I usually keep it to myself.
I'm kind of the same way.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll kind of lose it, but it takes.
Except that.
It takes a lot. It takes a lot for me to get to yell at somebody stuff, and like that's the thing that sometimes when I'm dating someone, they have to get used to it. They're like mad about something, and then I don't match their anger or their like energy, and they're like, "What? Do you just not care?" I'm like, "No, I care, but I'm not going to scream about it."
Right.
Like, that seems ridiculous.
The days of returning fire are long over for me with bosses in my life.
Yeah, bosses and ladies. I did get into one screaming match with a guy that used to work for iHeart, just going over some, like, contract and money stuff, and just the way it was going down just was making me nuts, and I kind of unloaded on him, and he fired back. But I kind of started that one. It's not like he was chewing me out for what I've done, because when I have in rare occasions gotten in trouble on the radio, it's been stuff that like I'm like, yeah, I know I know I shouldn't have done that, but I did it.
Like shit you said.
Yeah,
that's like an Axel Foley like angry police chief moment, you know, getting called into someone's office for that.
Yeah. But they're not even mad about it. They're just like, hey, we have to talk to you about this.
I was about to say, like, in modern...
It's not, and it doesn't happen that often.
Does anybody get yelled at in modern corporate America anymore?
I think it's something that's pretty much going away. I think there's some of it, but like when it happens, it's very, like, frowned upon, and like, the person doing the yelling will get in more trouble than the person that fucked up in the first place.
Yeah, the only people that yell anymore are like the people that can afford to provide settlement money.
Yeah,
for sure.
I like, and I haven't had a quote unquote boss in fucking 15 years. So like, the last time I got yelled at was like when I was like rightfully getting chewed out, like when I got paid $5 an hour at a record store, you know, like a glorified pawn shop. Like, how much did you pay the double Bone Thugs album again? The brand new one? You paid $4 for this? And this is, you know.
My dad was a big yeller, and he owned his own, owns his own company. So he would yell at his guys, and he'd yell at us a lot too. He just if it was, he would just lecture. but like the way he would scream at some of the guys, because they're costing him thousands of dollars. So like I get why he would be that upset. He even went to like a therapist, and the therapist is like, I mean, I would be mad about this stuff too, because it's costing you, $10,000 of so yeah, like try and control it better, but it makes sense that you're
used
angry.
to just be the like my father's generation, just everyone fucking yelled.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only way shit got done. Like my dad, I'm not saying my dad yelled at me, just like anyone in a work environment, it was completely
yelling.
Acceptable to just lose your fucking mind.
Right.
Right. So
and it's weird that that's the only way that people would respond, because like Tommy's saying, like, you're a good worker.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm a good worker. Like, everything that I need to get done is going to get done, and I work very good with just tell me what I'm supposed to do, and I'll make sure that's done when it needs to be done. There's times when I'm going to be ahead, there's times when I'm going to be behind, but I'm going to get it all done. Like, it's going to be done on time.
I'm trying to think if I've ever been scolded as an adult in a work.
I know, I'm
Yeah.
saying.
I've been scolded, just not in a work context.
I'm talking about relationships.
Yeah, like it's
Worse than a boss.
But I think, getting
no comment.
Getting yelled at by a boss is just. I'm glad it's going out of style. I'm glad it's like not as much of a thing.
I think for all this,
just
the reasons
gross.
we can, like for all the things we can complain about the modern age or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
like scolding is just not acceptable, and it shouldn't be. Like, it's,
right, and then you get these people like, oh, back in my day, like everybody had thick skin. But I'm like, yeah, but it's not that you had thick skin; it's that you were desperately tied to employment in a way where you had to take it, and they liked that you had to take it. Like that's not having thick skin. That's abuse.
Abuse, yeah.
Right.
yeah, it's like you didn't just take it. You like absorbed that and like took it out on someone else in some way, shape, and form.
Right, and that's what usually would happen. So that when someone would get power, they'd it'd just be this trickle down of bullshit of just being mean to people, and it's I saw some of that in the stand up world when I first started, where people were, it was almost like a hazing type thing, but they're real mean and dismissive to newer comics, and I'm like, that sucks. Like, this is already hard enough. I'm not going to be the reason that somebody else doesn't do a good job. Like, I'm just going to be nice to them and like not do all that gatekeeper shit, and make sure that people feel like happy to be around me. Maybe that's part of the people pleaser in me, but I don't want people to be uncomfortable or like feel like they have to walk on eggshells around me.
I don't like. I think like going back to like middle school and high school, well, probably middle school and under, just like you'd get bullied, I would get bullied, I'd get teased and shit, and then at some point, no matter how much we all want to believe like we were always a victim, like it's like I would find the kid weaker than me here and there, and when they were getting ganged up, I'd go, oh, okay, since it's happening to him, I'm just gonna join in because it's not happening to me.
Right.
And it's like, looking back, it's like, oh yeah, no one's completely innocent in all this shit.
Right. I definitely
but it's like
had some moments like that where I ganged up, and I remember one time getting in trouble for that in school, because I did get yelled at a lot in school. I would get yelled at in school all the time because
you don't say.
Yeah, and there was this girl that some of my friends, like, they said she like walked like a penguin and was shaped like a penguin, and she like, it really hurt her feelings, and she went to a counselor, and the counselor like pulled me aside. He's like, hey, I know you well enough to know that this isn't your personality, and you're really hurting her feelings. And like, it was such like an empathetic heart to heart that I was like, oh, I don't want to make people feel that way. That make me like, I was trying to make my friends laugh, but I'd rather, there's other ways to do that. And like, that stuck with me from like, I mean, that was 7th grade, and it stuck with me this whole time.
Well, I think, I was gonna say, I feel like, the bullying and stuff is natural, but how you react to when you're taught that it's not a good thing is kind of, when you're confronted with it, that kind of says what,
when someone
what kind of
confronts you
person
like
you're
a
going to
human
be.
being too, like,
right.
not just like, screaming at you or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that definitely the way he approached it, by being very like, direct about it, but firm, but not angry. Like, and I can think of a few moments like that in my like middle school life, where teachers like there's the times when they're like, hey, just shut the fuck up. You just shut the fuck up, And then there's times when they're like, hey, you're an adolescent and this is a boundary that you're crossing right now. And you don't quite understand that. And I was like, oh, I was actually really thankful for that because it really did. Like, there was a lot of butt touching happening when I was in 6th grade where like people there would be a lot of butt pinching. And I got caught pinching a girl's butt and the teacher's like, hey man, that's sexual assault.
That's assault.
Yeah.
Brother.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't want to assault anybody. He's like, well, you just did. Don't do that again. And I was like, okay. And it was like that. And I was just like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically said, don't touch anybody without like little lesson on consent.
About consent, yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is much needed because it was happening so much where there was so much butt pinching going on that it was just like you were just joining in because you thought that's what it was okay. But
honestly, I used to do that to boys at shows. It was just like grabbing butts. So
you're a butt grabber.
Butt grabber, yeah.
Don't do that without.
And I was exactly, and then I was told consent. I'm like, shit,
At
you're
like
right.
shows like as a young adult.
No, oh my god, no. This was like teenager, like in not VFW. What are those halls
I was like,
called?
so like 2019, you're just going around
like
like
a moose lodge or something.
I just learned about consent, guys. No, this is a long time ago. Like probably same age.
Yeah,
like middle schoolish age. Yeah. It was like those are core memories that I have where I go, okay, I need to. And because of the way they approached it, because they weren't screaming at me or anything like that,
yeah.
I didn't go into you can't tell me what to do mode. I go, oh, this is actually like them trying to warn me, and not just warn me, but like help me understand, which went a long way with me. And I wish there were more people that were receptive to that because there's so many people that when they get reprimanded or just told anything, they're so defensive because of people telling them how those things in the past. That it just triggers something in them, and they can't.
Or they're just pieces of shit.
Or they're pieces of shit. But I think there's a lot of people that they're pieces of shit because they never had anybody, or the formative people in their life were shitty in the way that they gave them feedback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think that turns people shitty.
Sometimes people just come out the womb shitty too, though, which is the real nightmare people. We're like, no matter what. Just a dickhead, like just descended from fine parents who are still together, and then somehow just a dickhead.
Just a dickhead.
Like not even like a sociopath. Like you got to worry about this guy coming through the doors with a rifle. Just kind of like, like you're inescapably shitty.
Yeah, just entitled.
Why are you
and
mean
shitty,
to the waitresses for no reason?
And like there's people that they think that's a good thing.
Like
being mean to wait staff or.
Any
service worker,
they're
just like that's what they're there for. Who
I
cares?
hate those people.
Yeah, it's the worst kind
Not
of people.
the workers, the mean ones.
I mean, I tip 7% just like anybody else. So I mean, look, I do. I tip 10%, guys. All right, chill out, calm down.
He doesn't tip. Speaking of not tipping, you're opening a bar.
Oh yeah, Old 86 on the Detroit Shoreway. Come deliver upon all the karma I have earned in my years of being a rascal.
Well, tell us more about it because I mean, this is something that you like a passion project, and I know you're super excited about it. And like, when did this begin being like an idea, and then like, how did it get from like the idea of opening a bar to like now you're actually gonna do it?
So like literally, I mean, I've spent more than half my life going to bars and stuff and living the rock and roll lifestyle, whatever you want to call it. But my buddy Will Hollingsworth, who owns Spotted Owl Prosperity Good Company, we would spend the last couple of years traveling, hanging out at like bars around town, yada yada, and we just started kind of talking about like what would be cool to open in Cleveland. That's something that he hasn't really tried opening yet.
Right.
And
so explain what all those places are. So
Prosperity,
so that we can get to what Old 86 is going to be.
Spotted Owl is like a premier, like globally renowned cocktail bar, like super fancy, fancy,
Are they the one that has the little spinny
end
thing to choose your kind of drink?
Wheel.
Yeah, the wheel.
The wheel.
So
there's
lucky
a more
enough,
scientific name for that, but
yeah, I was lucky enough one time when it was right before it reopened. We kind of had that. I think was it your birthday? We were there for
yeah.
I think we were there for your birthday, and it was closed that night, and we just kind of got to go in and have some drinks, and I got to go behind the bar and make my own Spotted Owl cocktail, and I basically just grabbed every bottle of liquor,
Oh my God.
put it into a glass, and made Pants drink it.
Oh,
Happy birthday
sorry.
to me.
Yeah.
I'm not. It was it was as best I can remember. It was delicious. But that's the vibe. Like, it's like Will literally, I think, spent 2.5 to 3 years opening that bar, and like that's his baby. That's his first bar he opened, and it's
a fantastic bar.
It's an award-winning cocktail bar. So there's that. And then there's Prosperity, which is like an institution in Cleveland. You know, it's like
that he saved, basically.
Yeah, like the penultimate fish fry bar in Tremont and in Cleveland. And then there's Good Company, which is like a burger and wings joint. So then, you know, he talks to me a lot about what I like, and he knows like literally whenever I go to Spotted Owl, he has like a reserve of White Claws for me. Like he doesn't serve those. He just knows because I'm an idiot. I'm not a fancy drink guy. So, you know, he kept talking about like what would be cool. I was like, you know what I miss? I miss like the Garage Bar, and there's people in Cleveland that remember the Garage Bar.
Man, I miss the Garage Bar too.
So that was kind of like, well, we're not going to reopen the Garage Bar. We're not going to open up, because that was like a large scale bar that was also kind of designed like, no disrespect to Jeff Allison, like Guy Fieri's man cave, like you know, had race car gear everywhere.
Did you ever go there?
No.
Oh yeah,
it was the shit.
It was cool.
It was
cool
fun.
Bar.
That was a fun bar, and it was.
I was
like
so
a
shocked when
bar.
it went away, because I've like. And maybe it's just the people that I run with. We just end up there all the time.
Yeah,
like
it was the spot, because that was, if they could have just hung on another year or two before West 25th Street really popped.
Yeah, they
occupied West 25th Street before there was Town Hall, before there was Brightside, before there was any of that.
Well, that's I mean, after comedy shows at the Improv or Hilarities, there was some bars together, but especially after shows at the Improv. That's the bar, because it was kind of like we go either there or we go to Harbor Inn, and it would, but like sometimes Harbor Inn was too packed or something, so we end up going to
Garage Bar. You could fit damn near 200 people in that bar. Yeah. You know, so it's like it was like a bar for the rock crowd.
Yeah,
and the rock crowd occupied it, and it was just like fucking chaos every weekend in the best way. So like. Old 86 was kind of like, let's open a bar that's of that spirit. It doesn't really look like the Garage Bar, but that's the crowd we want. That's kind of the energy we want there. And also we're trying to just open a bar, like a shot and a beer bar. You know, there's no gimmickry, there's no activities to do there. It's like literally like, come on in and bring your friends, have a drink, make a friend there, whatever, you know. No cops there, like whatever. It's just like, so like, but then it's like me being an artist and designer, and Will being Will, who has like a vision for like what he sees and wants bars to be. Like we've really challenged ourselves to like every time we start getting a little too high-minded with ideas, we like slap each other on the hands, like this.
We gotta pull it back and
calm down, you know,
and
like,
have it be a unique experience, but not this crazy.
It's hard to do because it's like,
because you guys are so creative.
Well, yeah, it's like I mean, it's just like it's the bar that I always wanted to hang out at that never existed. I can confidently say it doesn't look like anywhere in town.
That's cool.
And then I also feel like the thing I hate most of any kind of bar or restaurant or club is the second you can feel when there's pretentiousness oozing through the door, through the walls, and it's like, no, man, like I want a good place for people to make bad decisions. You know, that's literally
like the Cobra tagline.
Well, I made that up, but yeah, like
that one, give yourself credit for. You should text that to Canane and be like, "Hey, next time you're in town, come to my bar. It's a good place to make bad decisions."
So like, guys, like when Kyle comes into town and like just people like that, like that's who I want coming to my bar, and just I like, it's kind of as close to like a passion project as I've had since the pizza shop opened, you know, like, and I've never owned a bar.
Yeah.
I've spent gazillions of dollars in my life at bars. So it's like, it's like, it would kind of be cool to make a little bit of money off of it. But at the same time, it's like, it's cool to say I have a bar. So it's like me and Will's thing, and our friend Sinjin basically built out this place, and it's like, as much as I just want to say, nope, it's just a bar, I was like, no, it kind of looks like like tech noir from Terminator 1 or like a villain's lair from John Wick. So it's
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't see. There's people can look at it, right? Like you got some progress pictures on the Instagram.
Yeah. It's the construction just completed this week. So like from here on out, we just have some art to hang and have like some odds and ends to
What is it?
show
Old
up.
86 bar.
Old 86 bar on Instagram. And yeah, so it's like I was just putting up graphics for weeks on end, and I was like, I need more content than just putting JPEGs up there and stuff. But that's also like we're not doing a Facebook, we're not doing a Twitter. It's literally just Instagram, and it's just a very like reined in, no frills approach to opening a bar. Like that's been the only challenge, is being like people are like, what's the food? Like I'm like, no food. They're like, what kind of cocktails? No cocktails, no drinks with sentences for names, just a bar.
Just a bar.
No game. Well,
I like it.
We have one arcade game.
Ooh.
What game?
I can't share that yet.
Okay.
Oh.
It's a custom built. No, it's just we luckily found there's like a video game graveyard in town that's actually pretty sick, and we found a game that's pretty awesome. So yeah, it's literally just me been spending the last few months with Will coming together, and we're on the same page about everything, and it's it's also not a massive space. Holds maybe 75 people, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Very cool.
So
I'm excited.
Old 86 bar, a good place to make bad decisions.
And the branding's already badass because Pants did it, and it looks awesome.
Design bar.
Yeah, it is. Really.
That's also like the challenge is also like I don't. It's playing the cool guy game where you're like, yeah, I want this to be a cool bar, but you can't say you want it to be a cool bar, and you want to brand it cool, but you don't want to spend too much time branding it because
you don't want to overdo it. Yeah.
No, you look at like all the institutions in town, and we won't pretend to be any of them yet because it takes time to get there. But it's like, yeah, like I don't know, like
that's gonna be
the 5 o'clock lounge.
Mine's gonna be called the institution, and it's gonna be straight out the gate. We're an institution in town. We're a total like, poser bar. We're just totally. This is stolen valor.
There's something to that. I mean, there's more honor in that than just opening up a place and just being like, it's a vibe. It's a vibe. It's just a place where like it is experience for people. Also, like it's just that's when you're in your 20s, you're supposed to be an asshole shit like that. So.
You're very much in your 40s.
I'm very much approaching the end already, so I just really want to sit at a bar. And,
Tommy, if you opened a bar, what would yours? Anime bar?
Yeah, it'd be cute, but also it would also be gothic.
Okay,
a little goth and.
Well, I can tell you, I don't think there's any market for a cute anime goth bar. It just doesn't seem like it's
I know nobody would love that.
So talk to me and Will after
this out. Right?
Along with our other concept we came up with the other night.
Yeah. And I would have cute drinks. I would have cocktails. Candy cocktails. Candies on top.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, all the fun stuff.
I mean, you literally
sugary. I love sugar.
Yeah, make like a kawaii Japanese themed thing.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Japanese inspired.
But now you got to figure out a good name.
Yeah, I don't know what it would be.
Like a goth anime
Old 87.
Yes. Okay. Right next door.
Free idea just for your ass. No, that's the cool part about the bar is it's kind of on an island.
Goth bar.
If you literally open a bar called Big Titty Goth Bar, I mean, it's not going to be the crowd you want.
Yeah, but it'll be a crowd. I'm sure I would get a crowd. Yeah.
There's got to be like a more. What was the look you said like when they do like the eyes?
Oh, yeah. Ahigo or ahiga, however they say it. But what about it?
Ahigoth.
Oh no, you can't.
No. That's what you make the name.
Oh, okay.
Then it's a combination of that word with goth, and you're combining your worlds together.
I know the name of the bar.
What is it?
Tummy Ache.
Yes, I get tummy aches.
Hot girl
so
tummy
much
ache.
Sugar.
Hot girl tummy ache.
Yeah.
There you go.
Fuck yes.
Tummy ache actually just alone.
Just tummy ache.
Yeah, tummy ache.
Bill, everyone, people walking by, so like, what kind of food do you have that we don't?
No
we just
food.
Call it tummy ache.
Yes, just tummy ache.
Got to be brave.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be brave.
Now, do you guys have to do the thing where you sell like chips?
That's a great question for someone that would know the answer to that. I mean,
I know there's different kinds of liquor licenses, and like some people use, like they have like a small menu just so they can get the restaurant.
I think we're gonna have like the chips on the clip because I think you legally have to.
Yeah.
I have one good COVID story involving takeout food from that. It's literally how I caught COVID.
Yeah.
The night Joe Biden was announced the winner of the presidency.
Oh yeah.
Me and a friend went to Christie's Cabaret to celebrate because we're smart in the heat of COVID. And we'd spent all day drinking, and I was like, I'm done pretending COVID's real, and I want to just I want to celebrate.
I met up with buds and had beers that day, and then I think it was at Hilarities that night, so yeah.
Yeah, so this is like very much like, I think bars were still only allowed to be open till 10. So we come like running through the door at like 9 p.m. And I tell my buddy, I was like, we got to house these drinks because they're going to close in. And the bouncer at Christie's is like, no, you don't. We're open till 2. And I look at my buddy, I go, how? And they go, and then the bouncer goes, you can just buy takeout drinks. And my buddy, who was smarter than me, goes, yeah, like they just give you like takeout drinks and you can go house them in the parking lot till that last call. And I go, really? So like, so I go sit down. 3 or 4 women just come hop on my lap. My buddy's sitting there with 7 masks on. Not me, just fucking, like it's over. We made it. And then, so then like I go to get like finally it turns like 10 p.m. or whatever. And I go grab a drink. They give me the drink with like the weird lid on it. And they give me like a bag of Zapp's potato chips. And I don't drink and eat at the same time. I'm either eating or drinking. So I take like the chips. I go, oh yeah. I was like, that's nice of you. I was like, I don't need it. And they just go, yes, you do. And they slide it back. I go, I'm not. I was like look at it. I was like, no, I'm not hungry. And they go, we can't serve you this if you don't have takeout food with you. And they're like winking at me. And I go, oh. So then I walk outside, throw the chips like in the garbage can or something.
You didn't save them for a homeless man?
No, because I'm drunk. So, yeah, I didn't. You're going to have to.
Rude drunk.
Yeah, sorry, this is not a great night of awesome behavior from your boys' behalf here.
That's the name of my bar.
Rude
drunk.
That's actually a pretty sick name, to be honest with you. And then, so then at this point, I'm kind of like, I feel like I definitely have caught COVID. I was like, if I haven't
just immediately.
I hadn't caught it yet at that point.
Yeah.
And the vaccine, I think, was 3 or 4 months away from being a thing yet.
Yeah.
So then, I go off in the corner of the parking lot. There's, of course, 30 bros all, huddled together, smoking cigarettes, drinking, bullshit and stuff. So, I'm off in the corner of the parking lot, drinking, just, sort of just thinking about my life or what's left of it. And then, all of a sudden, I just feel like some dude, elbowed me, in the army. He's he goes, we got this guy here, man. He's he's got all these tattoos, man. He probably likes Joe Rogan. And I just go. And then before I know it, there's 14 dudes. And they're all doing the fucking bro thing where we're all wasted. So they're all kind of just start touching me. And I can just feel saliva particles hitting all sides of my face. And I just go, yeah, I definitely have it now. And then I think 2 or 3 days later, no smell, no taste. And I go, I know exactly how this happened. I don't, there's no mystery to how this all happened to me.
Oh, gross. You're gross.
Yeah, it wasn't from any of the dancers. It wasn't from...
Right, it was men.
No, it just was from dudes wearing 1776 American tactical t-shirts and shit.
Nice.
So thanks, Chad.
The American way to get it.
Whatever your name is. Yeah. I survived.
Tommy, you have been having some good days lately.
Yeah.
And you've been telling these on social, you're saying that you're having all this good stuff and then you have a happiness hangover.
Oh yeah.
I never heard this term before.
Have you?
No.
It normally happens.
So walk us through your most recent one.
Well, I'm trying to think. It's been a little while since I've had a really bad one, but anytime I go on vacation, this is how it kind of started. It would be a vacation, a long extended time off work, over the weekend, stuff like that. When I come back, I just get insanely depressed for no apparent reason.
I think there's a very apparent reason is that you're not on vacation anymore.
Well, So yeah, but it's to the point where I would like just sob for no reason, and it's just people call it a happiness hangover, and that's exactly what it is. It's like it's the come down.
Bummer than I thought it was.
Yeah, it's depressing as fuck. It's not fun. Yeah.
I thought a happiness hangover was like the day after you're happy. You're just like, I'm still so happy.
No,
I'm like so much happiness.
No, it's very depressing.
Well, that's the thing. Like it's such a like I don't think I've had that where like I'm like, oh, I had all these good days, like, and now I'm not in that time anymore. It definitely doesn't manifest the same way.
Yeah.
If I've had it.
Yeah.
It's more like, oh, I'm just kind of bummed that I have to get back to my routine and stuff like that. But I think the one that you mentioned, like you had like done like a real fun shoot and stuff like that, and like by the time you got home,
I was already
just
Boof. That's exactly what it was. Yeah. Just had a very good fun shoot with a bunch of people, and literally by the time I was home, an hour drive, I'm just like so down, and it's just part of my depression.
Just like shifting back into the day job mode.
Yeah, kind of. But for mine, my emotions are just very heightened. I'm also like just an intensively sensitive person.
Yes.
So it's just I can be super high, super low, and it just comes. I don't know where. Sometimes
just riding the wave.
Yeah. But it's gotten better lately.
That's good.
I feel like
that's good.
Yeah.
And so when you have those like high highs, like Shrek rave.
Shrek rave, yeah. I didn't have a hangover this week, but I also had
landing gear, which was the podcast.
True.
The podcast was your landing gear. Yeah. Like, dude, honestly, that was like.
It was great.
I woke up the next day and I did not feel horrendous, and I think it was because I literally took like an hour break from drinking and just honestly had to think.
Yeah,
I had to be with my thoughts and like had to actually. I was like screaming into someone's ear.
I was editing the podcast today, and I was just like, "Oh, we weren't like." Now, when we first get back, there's definitely like the first time I like look at the camera, I'm like, "We're back!" Like one eye's bigger than the other.
Like, oh, no.
It's pretty apparent. But by the end of it, like it's we've
coherent.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing's coherent, but it just Also, we didn't really go that hard drinking wise there.
I did.
Well, you did because you kept.
I took a lot of laps.
You did a lot of laps.
I was quote unquote looking for content.
Yeah.
And we appreciate
I did like. I think I had like 3 24-ounce White Claws and like a shot.
Yeah.
So it wasn't nuts.
Yeah.
I think I did like 2 of those, and I think you did like 1.5.
2 claws. Yeah. I didn't finish the second one. I don't think
those
you're right. And then a
so
shot.
Big.
They're so big.
They're so big.
Bear claws.
Yeah.
I loved it.
But so, have there been times when you've had this happiness hangover and like been able to, or like felt it coming and been able to be like, okay, I'm not gonna succumb to this, or like you can get those emotions under wraps, or like what are some of those
working
techniques?
out,
working out
helps me. Doing just like laundry, literally just hanging stuff up, having something to get my brain
movements,
physical movements, and just cleaning, like accomplishments,
like
simple accomplishment.
Mopping, vacuuming.
I got so much laundry. Like I've got so much laundry to like just hang up. And, like, it's all clean.
Same actually.
And I cannot keep up with it.
Yeah. COVID taught me the Zen magic of just doing dishes, like hand washing them, because I was like, my phone can't be around, and it's like me just doing a thing.
Yeah.
I don't mind doing dishes at all. Folding and like putting laundry away, just especially when it's like an overwhelming amount, like which we let it get to. And I'm like, oh god damn it. But
trying to get off my phone too.
Yeah,
that's something I struggle with for multiple reasons. But yeah.
I've been trying to be better about that. Playing games, like board games, is a good way for me to put the phone down. And then also, even though it's still like a screen, Danny and I play Fall Guys.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever played that?
I have not. I know what it is.
It's it's like it's an online game where like it's just a bunch of like beans is what they look like these guys that like, and you just got to run through an obstacle course, but you're not super athletic, and no one can get like any. Everybody's got the same skill, well, not skill level, but the same attributes.
Are you playing this on your phone?
So you're playing it on a Switch or like a PlayStation, and you can play it on all these multiple platforms in like one group, and it's really fucking fun. And so I'll play that with Danny, and that way we just have to, it'll be like me, Danny, and then her friends like on speakerphone playing at her house, and we're just playing this kind of a children's game, but it's so fun and so silly, and we take it way too serious. But it's great focus though. Like it's just like we're all in on this for the time. I started doing like painting D&D figures. I've only done it a couple times, cool. But that's like just something I want to like you have to focus on. Stuff like that. That sounds like a fun one. Yeah.
You all have way.
You know how to paint pants?
Never tried it. No, dude, that's the challenge of my life is like I spend all day on screen devices doing design and art stuff.
Yeah.
So by the end of the day, like I've tried multiple times to get into video games and stuff, and I don't have the patience for any like. How
do you feel about Yahtzee? You want to come play some Yahtzee?
Yahtzee
well, that's the other thing is normally I'm just by myself. Like when I wind down at night and I'm looking for something to do, it's like literally me putting on like just the most zone out television I could find and just like half watching.
Well, we should have a Yahtzee night over at my place because I got really into Yahtzee and I have like all the different.
I can safely say I don't think I've ever played Yahtzee.
Oh, dude, it is fun.
Easy, I'm Jewish. It rhymes with.
Okay.
Oh yeah, understandable.
Offensive, problematic to be honest. Yeah. That's what the point of the game, right?
No.
Oh.
It's pretty. You know, now that I think about it, no.
Oh, okay. there's no. No, I'm down.
Supreme race or anything like that.
Okay, my family. It's fine then. I'll check it out.
No, it's a stupid dice game, but it's really fun and it's super easy to play. And there's like kind of strategies to it, and it's
anything that's not like digital, like just like reading or like board game stuff seems wildly appealing to me.
Well, and that's the beauty of it is because you don't have to we won't have to explain it to you a bunch of times. Like you play one round and you're like, I get it. Whereas, there's plenty of games where you're like, wait, what? Like trying to learn how
That's
to play
why like I recently started doing blackjack in Vegas. I'm not a big gambling guy, but like it's an easy game to learn, but it takes forever to even get close to trying to do.
Yeah. Which
is my degenerate way of thinking, and I have a healthy coping mechanism for like solitude or whatever.
Yeah.
But
I would go play some blackjack with you if you can. I've never sat down at a table, or like I may have done it once or twice, but it's been like a long time.
It's like the most fun I've had at like a table game in Vegas or like any casino, really. I won't pretend to be good at it. I could show you the.
I mean, I know the rules, but like I think there's probably more. Like I'm more worried about the etiquette of the table.
Oh yeah, that's a whole thing.
Yeah, because I know that's a thing.
And then also like after I've been drinking brown liquor all day long, I'm really good at not following the unwritten rules of table protocol. But.
Right. All right. Well, I think we're gonna wrap this episode up. Check out BillSquire.com. I got shows coming up. Funny Stop, March 31st and April 1st. Get those tickets. Let's sell that motherfucker out. And then whatever else is on there. I want to sell them all out.
Oh yeah.
Buy tickets. Run the board.
Buy
them all.
Buy all the tickets. And then check out the podcast. Tell more people about the podcast. It's been doing really well in this new. Not that it wasn't doing well before, but the new cast is doing good numbers.
Shrek Rave episode is going to really blow this thing to the next level.
You got Old 86 opening soon. Keep your eyes peeled for that. Follow them
Old 86 bar on Insta.
Yeah, on Instagram.
What?
Insta. See, there's something going on.
You got a lisp. I got Insta. Anyways, Old 86 bar on Instagram.
And Tommi at Tommi LC. You got any interesting shoots you've done, posting anything like that?
Ray and I did a nun shoot, and they took some stuff down.
Oh,
which is the first time it's ever happened.
Insta?
No, OnlyFans. Yeah.
They took down nun stuff?
Well, not all of it. There was insertion of things that apparently aren't supposed to be inserted because they're not meant for being inserted.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, well, give us a fucking crucifix dildo then.
Too
we
hot
can't
for
find
OnlyFans.
it anywhere. Yeah.
That's kind of a flex.
I mean, it is, but it was consensual.
Well, it was a crucifix?
Yeah, but no, it wasn't like it was a plastic one.
But you were like
yeah, in her little cooch.
In her little cooch.
What the fuck? Does OnlyFans? Who is reporting you on OnlyFans?
It was like almost immediate, and hers got taken down too. So I think it truly was.
What priests are jacking it on Instagram, like OnlyFans? Whatever.
Well,
that
no,
sucks.
you know what? Honestly, there's probably a lot of people on there that are
Yeah,
some
they're
Christian,
pretty-
but
yeah.
that is
My gripes
Over the
about
board.
OnlyFans as a platform is we could do a whole other episode about it.
No,
Just,
next
just
week.
criminally, technically crappy video
it's
player.
so.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
Great
There's a lot of
platform,
issues.
great concept.
Yeah.
They could really pump a couple bucks into like fucking making it an easier user experience.
Yeah.
For sure. Did you guys also? I'm so sorry now that you say that. As I was on my way here, Heather sent a screenshot of a post OnlyFans did about a dating thing, a dating show that they're doing.
An OnlyFans dating show?
Yeah, creators.
Oh.
I don't know if it was like real or not, but
I'd probably watch that.
you would. But
That
like, what
trash
kind of
TV?
is it? All creators like
I don't know.
cooking versus might get hooked up with some.
I think that's the interesting part. Let's see.
Yeah, let's see.
I'm interested.
Is it going to be airing on OnlyFans?
I will have to figure that out.
Is it going to because it's either going to be like a porn type show or it's going to be like a mainstream type.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which I
I mean,
would rather honestly see the latter. I think
Yeah, I
it
want it
might
to
be
be-
like more entertaining.
I want it to be. I want a dating show where we see nips and puss.
Oh,
and
no, I'm
dick.
saying, like-
I want the whole thing. Like I want to see them actually fuck. So if they did an OnlyFans dating show where it was like actually them going out with someone that they actually like,
yeah.
and not just like a porno one where they're like, well, I like, and we're just fucking constantly like people with chemistry fucking. Oh, I love it.
I see. Yeah, I mean, I like watching hot people fuck, but like, I think to watch like creators go on actual dates,
Mhm.
like say the show aired on TLC or something.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
says OFTV, so it must
That's
be.
OnlyFans.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
never mind. So they're just gonna be fucking.
Yeah, they just gonna be. Well,
I mean, they'll
it's-
be like going out for like sushi and then
Yeah.
maybe a drink and then they'll be fucking.
Yeah.
No crosses entering holes of any sort.
No crosses. Yeah.
So anyway, at Tommi LC.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
It's
Tommy
okay. No,
LC.
it's all right. It's all right. I love when we get derailed. On at Tommi LC on all the social platforms, including OnlyFans.
Yes.
And then we will see you next week.
Bye.
Take it easy.
This is the Bill Squire Show.